Okay, your homework tonight will have a question very similar to this. Patty buys 5 juice boxes a month for lunch. If one juice box costs $1.26, how much does Patty spend on juice boxes in 1 month? Also answer the question, how much would she spend in 10 months? Raise your hand if you already know what operation this is. All right, very good. What do y'all say it is? It is multiplication. What 2 numbers should I multiply? 5 is one of the numbers. What's the other? This is where reading becomes very important with math. Well, we're not going to find out how much she spends in 10 months till we find out how much she spends in 1 month. You all read that first sentence again to yourselves. Read the first sentence. What are we going to multiply by? 5 is one of the numbers. Y'all already knew that. Oh, and what's the other number? $1.26. Somebody said 1 month. 1 month does not tell me how many she buys. You have to read this statement right here. She buys 5 juice boxes in a month. So I have to multiply times 5, and that's what the cost is per juice box. So you guys help me out. 5 times 6. 30. Put down the 0, carry the 3. 5 times 2. 10. Plus 3 is 30. Put down the 3, carry the 1. 5 times 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. Now let me tell you the trick about decimal placement. It's not the same as addition. If you just dropped it down into your answer, you would get the right answer. But guess what? Things get a little more difficult in the year when we get 2-digit numbers, 2-digit decimal places. So go ahead and learn the correct procedure now. The correct procedure is look at the problem. That's this stuff right here. Find out how many places were behind the decimal in the problem. How many places were behind the decimal? 2. So that's how many you have in your answer, but you count from the back. 1, 2. So here's the first answer. For 1 month, she spends $6.30. Okay, we did the second part on purpose. For a couple of weeks now, we've been multiplying and dividing with powers of 10 because we know when we want to multiply times the power of 10, what does it technically do? We just move the decimal. So if we're multiplying times 10, she spends $6.30 for 1 month, and we want to know how many for 10 months. What am I going to do to this amount? Which way? Point the direction we're going to move. Good. And how many places?
10.
Whoa. Wake up. I know it's Monday. How many places when we're multiplying times 10?
1.
It's always just 1. So when I sweep under that 3, I just do it 1 time. What does this represent, moving from this point to this point? What does it represent when I draw my arrow here, though? The new place for your decimal. So the answer is 63, and I just have 1 0 back there, but it's money, so what should I technically do? Put 2 zeros. Or what's another way of writing this that would still be correct?
$63.
Just $63, and don't mention the cents because there's not cents on there. Okay, so we have $6.30 for 1 month. We have $63 for 10 months. How would you go about explaining something like this? You would say, since 1 juice box is $1.26, I multiplied to find the cost of 5 juice boxes. Since there was 2 decimal places in the problem, I had 2 decimal places in my answer. You could go on to explain that finding how much she spent over 10 months was easy because since it was 10, you just added 1 place value to it. So you moved your decimal just 1 place, and so it was $63. Do y'all notice how the relationship of the digits has stayed the same? How are these numbers the same?
Because they both have
a 6 and a 3 in them. How are they different? Starts with a V. It's a big concept. The value changed by how much?
By
10. By 10 times 10. All right, so your homework will be very similar to that tonight, but with different numbers, maybe even a different person.